webinar that he hosted. It was on tax benefits for investors. So I did the webinar, and it was about the time when I was really digging in on multifamily and wanting to actively invest with multifamily and be a deal sponsor. And so I did the webinar, and then at the end or the beginning, I can't remember, but he had mentioned that he was doing this mentorship program. And so I reached out to him, and I had to meet him in person because I'm just like, this is obviously pre-COVID. I was like, I don't know you. Am I just going to wire? He wanted a transfer through a program I didn't I've heard of. So I just was like skeptical because I didn't really know him. But I met him, and I've just continued to be in the relationship with him. And I'm just so impressed with what he's done and what he wants to do to give back to others, to help them along their way. Mm-hmm. So just really fortunate, and by chance that I came across him the way I did. And then January signed up for his mentorship program after we met and realized, this is legit, he's real, all that good stuff,
Yeah,
and
seriously.
And he's just a fantastic human being.
And are you okay if I record this?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, because we want to use some of the things that you're saying, obviously, in our marketing. Okay, so what do you think contributes to his legitimacy? Like what parts, other than meeting him, like what else would have helped him be legitimate maybe to other people quicker?
Okay, so I can, for me, the legitimacy, what I was looking for was somebody who's gone through a full life, a life cycle. And I think he was just ending with his first property on going through the sale process. So he hadn't gone through the entire full life cycle, but now that he has, I think that's important to have a mentor who's gone from the beginning to the end, full life cycle with their investors. But I also wanted somebody who knew my target markets of Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. So that helped that he had properties in San Antonio and Austin. The price point was something that was important to me. And, just, I think for me, it was nice that he was here in Austin. Now, most of his students are from outside of the city. And I think a lot of those things still apply where someone with the experience and, just being coachable, having someone being willing to coach and mentor along the way. He's just very responsive and, helpful during the process. So
that's been amazing. Okay. So, you kind of went into what made you take, so were you looking at other courses and evaluating those? Was this something that you were actively looking for, or was it like, oh, you offer that? That sounds good, I'm going to do it? Or you were like, I'm going to take a course, I need a mentor.
Yeah, I think it's a little of all the above. The stars just sort of aligned a little bit, and I haven't closed on my property, so the stars will even align better once the property has been closed on. But so I had been with CBR. I am still with CBRE, a commercial real estate company, for the last 13 years. So I'm unique in the aspect that I have a lot of commercial real estate experience, heavily on office and retail, some industrial. And for me, I was trying to find something that, I could grow and expand, but also not impact my day job, but also be in an investment class that, I would want to invest in and do. So multifamily, it hit me in November on multifamily. Now, with anything like this, I would have searched a mentor. It sort of fell in my lap. It sort of happened the way it did. But, finding a mentor, is, in my opinion, one of the most important things to do when doing these larger investment types. You may not need it for the smaller properties, but when you're dealing with millions of dollars and dealing with other people's money, for sure, you got to have the right team. And starting with the right team is having the right partner and right mentor to help guide you through it.
Okay, so you already had probably a notion or an idea of what that person should look like. And then when James fit the bill, you're like, this feels good. The price is good. The location, okay, everything's falling into place. So why not? Yep. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was. And he was just starting his program too. So, I think he had one class that he had recorded that he was using for his platform. So there wasn't a whole lot of other people. He didn't have testimonials like this.
Yeah.
Right. And so it really was trusting him as a person. And then also I went to a couple meetups after, like starting in January before before COVID hit, and his name was brought up a couple times by the speakers, and I met with those speakers afterwards and was like, hey, I'm just getting to know James, what are your thoughts, and all this. And everybody I've spoken with has said such high remarks for him as well. So it made all of that, plus meeting him in person, for me, like, this is legitimate, and let's go, let's do it.
So okay, you took the course. What do you think was the best part of the program for you? Like, what was that thing you were like, wow, that was cool?
Well, I don't know if there was one thing, but I think every class, I took it as, there's some people that I've even talked to that do the class, that they do all the classes like all at once. And I guess I did that as well. I mean, I did the classes, but I went back and I did each class, and then I implemented what he was saying. And so that's why you see me a lot on these Facebooks and, this podcast, my blog, because everything that he has said, I'm really trying to implement. And I'm not trying to recreate the wheel. I'm trying to trust in his process and his systems, because it's proven to work. And so, for example, like the first one's the mindset, and doing a vision board. And, that was one of the first things I did. I did a vision board of where I see myself in the next couple of years and 5 years, just sort of pictures of what I can look forward to. And then, we talked about branding and setting up a website and, getting the foundational pieces, and then going to underwriting later on, and using his analysis tools and everything, which is really helpful. So I wouldn't say there's like one thing that was just like a big wow. It was really just, when I was trying to find off-market deals, which I'm still doing, like I rewatched that video and was like, okay, am I doing everything that he had recommended or suggested? Even using Fiverr and Upwork, these other platforms to help grow the team at a low cost way, while, making your business grow and be more efficient. And so, I've implemented those, and, every day, it's like, there's just a lot of work that goes in before you buy a property. And, sometimes, I'm like, because at the end of the day, I haven't closed on a property. So I'm just hoping that all of this work and money and time ends to that. And I think it will. And I'm excited for that to come to fruition. It's a process. So.
Oh yeah, I think that once you close that deal, it'll be bananas. You're gonna go
For
bananas.
sure.
I feel
Oh
it.
yeah. Yes, I'm excited for that day. And that's the thing, it's just. But James has been one thing that's been really helpful, and I think should be mentioned in any testimonial, is he has built his brand and his name. There's credibility. There's he does what he says he's going to do. And so when you talk to lenders and you talk to other service providers, mentioning his name and saying I'm partnering with him, or he's part of the advisory board of our company, it gives you instant credibility. And I've talked to so many, some of his lenders and property management companies and stuff. He manages in-house, but these other management companies, they view you as more credible because you have someone like him. I mean, I have him on, even on my letter of intent, as, as a group that we're partnering with. So when a buyer, I'm looking tomorrow, I'm going to Houston, looking at an $11 million property potentially. And I don't know the exact price, but it'll be around 11 million. And I haven't closed anything, but having him on my side, and, we're emailing over the weekend, and he's helping me through. I mean, all that is just, it's been extremely helpful, and it gives you confidence, and it gives the seller confidence that, hey, you're backed by more than what you're bringing yourself currently.
Yeah, it kind of gives you that clout and that experience. So his reputation in the industry is a great asset for you through this whole process. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And that's that's what the lenders and the people that will help make it happen, even other partners who are like James. There's one in particular that he's like, if James is on the deal, then I definitely would love to look at it and be part of it. I mean, that's huge. And so
Hmm.
that right there, potentially signing on the loan, and James being there from operational experience, that's all extremely helpful. But then also on the passive side, so there's a lot of times where I'll buy the book. I've bought several copies of his book and sent them to potential investors.
Mm-hmm.
And, so his passive investing book is helping, me grow my business because people are getting educated and learning more. And then it helps that, I'm able to say that, this is, someone that, will likely partner with us on future deals.
Mm. That's really good. All right. So do you have any other last comments that you would say to anybody considering this program, advice, suggestions, or feedback?
So for the latter part,
Or your audio cut out?
sorry about that. Can you still
It's
hear
okay.
me?
Yeah, I can.
It said a call from a telemarketer. So
Oh.
at least they know who's calling. No, okay. So the suggestion, and I've talked to a couple of students who just recently joined this program. I would say go through the videos, but like I said earlier, go through each one, because you may be joining. It's likely now that you're going to join these calls with people like myself and others who have gone through the classes and have asked a lot of questions up to this point. And so it can feel a little maybe overwhelming and feeling like, hey, I'm going to ask dumb questions, even though you're just starting on your learning process. And what I hope that they do is don't worry about where we are or where others are, worry about where they are at that time. And so if they've gone through that video, when James asks every Wednesday on our calls, like, hey, are there any questions? Ask those questions. Because even it's good for me when they ask a question and I haven't thought about that in a while, and it it freshens things up. So I would say if you're on the calls on Wednesday and we're talking underwriting, other stuff, like ask your questions, get the value for yourself. And then go through those videos and actually do those things that James has recommended doing. So I would say that's on the suggestions for it. And then other than that, I mean, I've got nothing but great things to say. And if you don't know me well, but for me to give someone such high praise, I don't do that to a lot of people. Like it's, he's somebody that, I would want to go into a business relationship with, and hopefully will on these future apartments. And, I think he's for everything that he's offering, he's definitely of great value to the students.
I think that was so well put. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you've given me so much. You're the best, Wayne. I know you're sweltering, so I won't keep you on much longer.
I got a nice little breeze, so I'm okay. But
oh, you got a little something going on. Yeah, and it's not 100 degrees today. It's only 92. It's like it's like almost winter feeling, right?
Yeah, it was the shock from coming from Montana back to Texas. It's like,
oh my gosh, you want to talk shock. I felt the heat wave driving back. I was all,
yeah.
I hit Texas. Yeah,
yes.
I'm instantly hot. It's like I crossed from New Mexico back into Texas. I was like, really sweaty. But I was like, maybe we should summer in Colorado every summer. So
yes, that's my long-term. That's my vision board, right? To have a place in Montana. It didn't make it on my vision board currently, but at some point that will be my next vision board.
Love it. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you think of anything else, shoot me over a message, but you've been so generous that we truly appreciate it. It's going to help ensure that James and Shanti reach their goal. And you're right. Like it's what they're trying to do is just amazing. So I'm excited to be a part of it. Yeah. That's hard to find.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately it is. And I get the impression, it's one revenue source, but it's not I don't feel like they're trying to get rich off of it, right?
Nope.
They're getting rich off properties, and this is their way of giving back. And there's so many programs that are 30,000 or more just to get into the program. And,
I think he also
this is so reasonable.
I think he wants to work with a lot of people too. So it's like expands his network, gets people up to par, that they can get out there and do the due diligence and the deals. Like he thinks long term, which I think is unusual too. A lot of people, like you just said, pay me, get in this class, whatever, like learn it or not, peace. Yeah.
Right.
I get you.
So, well, if I can help any other ways, give me a call or shoot me an email. I'm happy to help and support James and Shanti however I can.
You're the best. Hey, you have yourself a wonderful day, and I hope that cool breeze keeps coming in.
I'm gonna go inside.
You brave soul.
Yeah. Have a good one. Good seeing you, Wendy. Bye.
Bye.